Okay, in this video episode, I'm going to show you how to do a couple of transformations to a circle. The question goes as follows. X minus 1 all squared plus y minus 3 all squared equals 1 is firstly reflected in the y-axis, then shifted down 2 units. Okay, so we're going to work it out mathematically here, and then we're going to confirm it up here on the diagram so you can gain more clarity. So let's work it out mathematically. What do we have here? We have x minus 1 all squared. I'm going to write it out again here. X minus 1 all squared plus y minus 3 all squared equals 1. Okay, now that happens to have a center of the opposite of whatever's in the brackets tells us what the actual units horizontally and vertically is. So the center for this particular circle would be, positive 1 and positive 3. And the radius would be 1. So positive 1 and positive 3 for y. There's our circle. It's a unit circle. The radius is 1. So it only goes out 1 unit, up 1 unit, down 1 unit, down 1 unit. So there's our circle. Let me just label it up. That's x minus 1 all squared plus y minus 3 all squared equals 1. Okay, there's our unit circle, and there is our center right there at 1, 3. Okay, what we're going to do first of all with this circle is we're going to reflect it in the y-axis. What are we going to do? Reflect in the y-axis. Now when we reflect in the y-axis, what that means is we're going to replace x for negative x. Now you might be thinking, why do I do that? Well, if I replace x for negative x, in other words 2 for negative 2, 1 for negative 1, what am I reflecting about? I'm reflecting about the y-axis. So that's why we do that. Reflect in the y-axis, replace x with negative x. So let's go ahead and substitute negative x in this circle here wherever positive x appears. So where does it appear? It appears right there. We're going to replace that x with a negative x right there. So let's go ahead and do that. So that means we're going to have negative x minus 1 all squared plus y minus 3 all squared equals 1. I'm just copying that down here, except I replaced x for negative x. Let's simplify this. Now, when you've got a squared and a negative x and a minus 1, you can change the sign of both these variables. So that means I could change this to positive x plus, instead of minus, plus 1 all squared. They're both exactly the same because we can multiply them by negative 1 all squared. So because it's squared, that's the same. That is the same as that because it's squared. Copy this down, plus y minus 3 all squared equals 1. So there's our new equation, the new circle, now that it has already been reflected in the y-axis. X plus 1 plus y minus 3 all squared equals 1. So what's the center of this circle that's just reflected in the y-axis? Well, it should have a center. A center should be, the opposite is true because it's in brackets, so if that's a plus 1, should be minus 1, comma, that's a minus 3, should be a plus 3 now, because it's in the brackets. So we should have a circle at negative 1, 3. We reflect it, it should be here, which is negative 1, 3, there we go. So that circle will be right there because we reflected it in the y-axis. So that makes sense. The next thing we need to do, it says up here, then we shift it down 2 units. We're going down 2 units. Now, because we're going to substitute down 2, which is minus 2, we're going to do the opposite and put plus 2 because it's inside the brackets. What are we going to do? Plus 2. Even though it's down 2 units, we're going to substitute in the brackets. So we put the opposite of minus, we put plus. So let me just work it out for you. So that means this is going to look like this. I'm going to write the x in normal black. X plus 1 all squared. We don't touch that because it's the horizontal. We're working with down 2 units, so it's the vertical, so it's the brackets with the y, plus Now y, we have y minus 3. Now because we're going down to units, what did I say earlier? It's going to be plus 2. Down to units plus 2. Why? Because it's inside the brackets. Let me put a squared there. I'll actually rub this out now so it doesn't get in the way. Okay, so we've got x plus 1 all squared plus y minus 3 plus 2 in brackets all squared equals the same one. It's a unit circle. So we're going to simplify that in a moment. So this still becomes x plus 1 all squared plus y minus 3 plus 2. That's just going to give us a minus 1, isn't it? So that's y minus 1, close brackets, all squared, still equals 1. So there's our new equation here. So we've got a y minus 1 all squared in there, haven't we? So that means that's our final equation. So let me just box that up. So that's our circle that has been reflected in the y-axis, then shifted down 2 units. There it is right there. So let's confirm from looking at that what the center of that circle is. Well, we know it's going to be the opposite in brackets, so if that's a plus 1, our center of this circle is -1, -1, comma, and that's going to be positive 1, positive 1. That's our center. So let's see if that's correct up here, right? So -1, positive 1. So that's our center right here. So that means it's a unit circle because the radius is equal to 1 because we've got 1 there. So that's the radius. So all I have to do is draw a circle around this point here at -1, 1. So that's going to be there we go right there. And that's our circle of x plus 1 all squared plus y minus 1. 1 all squared equals 1. There's the circle. That's where it's been shifted. Now let's confirm visually. The coordinates are -1, 1. And what we've done is it's gone from this, reflected in the y-axis and shifted down 1. It seems to make sense. That's the new equation. And the center there is -1, 1. There you go.